Business leaders, are you sounding a little too much like a corporate robot, accused of poor messaging and not communicating enough? These statements are commonly heard in the workplace, and in this era of AI, social media, and technology overall, we're literally automating corporate speak and automating out deeper connection. So, in this video, we're going to look at what this cosmic season has to tell us about how business leaders can bring their humanity into their communication and presence while still being effective builders. Hello, YouTube and LinkedIn. I am Kristen Scott Kennedy of Kristen Moonrise LLC, and I am a data scientist and an astrologer for founders, business leaders, executives, and data driven professionals who are ready to build sacred, strategic, and soulful movements. Most of my experience as an employee was spent in higher education. I also have years of experience in legal. So I'll pull most of my workplace examples from these two industries. But this example of leadership communication actually comes from when I was in high school. And so I was a senior at a performing and visual arts high school, and I was already accepted into the largest public university in my hometown of Houston, Texas, and my bassoon instructor was already faculty there at that university. But my older sister was already attending a completely different university, a private, smaller university in town. And so she invited the family to come along to an event that was happening on campus. And so that university president was walking around talking to all of the people at the various tables at the event. And so he came to our table, and so he asked me about high school and if I was considering attending that university, that private institution. And I told him no, I was already committed to that public university as my music connections were already there. And I had already made my decision. It was probably about in the springtime when this was all happening. And so I remember his face fell. He looked so upset, and I was really shocked that he almost kind of took it a little personally. In my family, we still talk about that to this day, about that president's reaction to me telling him, no, I've already made my decision to go to another school. But a few months later, into the summer, probably about July, I received a letter in the mail from the admissions office of that private institution stating that it wasn't too late to apply for the fall semester, which was literally starting that next month in August. And so, long story short, I gave it a try and I applied, and I was accepted. So, my parents and I, we assessed the financial aid, and although the private university did cost more, I received more scholarship opportunities there that covered more of the tuition than what I would receive at the public school. So I changed my mind and ultimately got my bachelor's and two master's degrees from that private institution. So, because of that possibly scheduled small talk, meet and greet that the university president did at that event, he converted at least one high school kid to a university student and ultimately an alumni three times over. So, what point am I getting at? Most people will tell you how much they hate small talk and that they don't have any time for it. I actually love it. When business leaders tell you that they don't like small talk, it's because they don't know how to pivot the conversation. You have the power and the permission to steer the conversation in the direction of opportunity. Do not trap yourself in this limiting belief that there is nothing that you can gain from small talk. So don't be so far removed as a leader where you cannot go to the ground floor, meet those that you serve, be influential, gain information, make change just by a simple conversation. And yes, of course, this can be delegated to other directors, but I guarantee that employees, clients, students, your stakeholders overall would love that you took the time to speak directly to them. But let's pause here. I did say that I am an astrologer. Between November 19th and 20th is the time of the new moon in Scorpio. New moons occur each month and they represent new starts, new beginnings, and new opportunities. And so I love new moons for exactly those reasons, as opposed to full moons that reminds us to trim the fat, refine, and revise. But all is good and necessary, especially in business. So there's no need to learn or know anything about astrology or astronomy for that matter here because we are going to take the data from the cosmos and apply it to how we can improve ourselves as leaders. So let's look at some celestial data. Here we have a scatter plot showing in what constellation the planets are in. Sun, Moon, and Pluto are considered planets in astrology. And so it reads YNX. Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter in Cancer, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mercury in Scorpio, Mars in Sagittarius, Pluto in Aquarius, and Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. There are no planets in the constellations of Aries, Gemini, Leo, Virgo, Libra, or Capricorn. So, with 10 planets overall, we have an overwhelming 7 of them in water constellations or signs versus 1 in air, 1 in earth, and 1 in fire. These 4 elements represent the energies we may be personally experiencing, and we can analyze this data for action taking. With 7 planets in water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, representing sensitivity, we can infer that this is an emotional or sensitive time, and as leaders, we can capitalize on it in the form of making deeper connections. We can use this season of heavy sensitivity as strategy here, especially with so much disconnect in communication nowadays. As C suite, how can you better communicate the overall why? What steps can you take to listen more than speak? How can being more present help clear up issues of transparency and make sure that messaging is not one sided? What your existing clientele and employees need from you is to be sensitive in the way that they feel you care more about their success and well being than they do. And when they know and feel that, you'll gain trust and lead more confidently. So, leaders, I have something for you. It's time for you to define and arrive in your unique executive presence. You've mastered the strategy, the metrics, and the external success. But true leadership isn't just about results, it's about resonating with the people that you serve. My new offer, the Leadership Mirror, is your chance to pause, reflect, and uncover your soul aligned leadership style. And it's the embodiment that comes after learning the established definitions of leadership. In just one session, you'll uncover your true strengths, reveal blind spots, and receive a personalized timing forecast so you know exactly when to act, pivot, or simply observe. So, if you're ready to lead with new insight, influence, and integrity, book your Leadership Mirror session today and you'll find the link in the description box. There is nothing cookie cutter about this, it is all specific to you. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you see small talk a little bit differently now, or are you going to look for new ways, different opportunities to connect in deeper communication? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.